Okay, so I think we can start it, right? Today, I'm going to talk about to recognize human being, right? Then, of course, it's related to practice Dharma. And one of the most important thing is that, from Buddhist point of view, to recognize in self. Most people, it's very hard to understand. So, because we always, our mind lose an object. That means that when we see something and the mind goes there. We hear something, then mind goes there too. And so sometimes we build habitual patterns, and that's part of something. Yeah. So as Dharma practitioners, we should focus on the self. What is the real self that we have? Yeah, we have. Sometimes we say it's the problems, right? Suffering. And so without understanding the self, it's very hard to achieve peace of mind, and to eliminating suffering. From Buddhist point of view, there's a lot method we can, learn from different traditions, different ways of to subdue some temporarily. But from Dharma point of view, then the self is a very complicated topic. Over thousands of years, different traditions described slightly differently, described the self. Some they said before the Buddha, over 1,000 years ago, 2,000 close, 2,000. Before that and after that, until now, even individual has a different perspective of the self. It's a not simple topic. Some way, of course, it's very simple. We're always dealing with it, right? It's not that complicated. Morning, wake up until now, we always, that me is there. And from birth into now, it's me here. The I, me, whatever's mine. Then what is real the self? This is a kind of Buddhist philosophy involved too. What Buddha discovered. And some they said, oh, there's permanent self. It's not body, it's not mind. There's another something. And it's permanent, right? And some they says that there's no the self. There's no cause conditions. If life is just only this life. When we die, it's completely gone. There is no past. There's the present we have, the life. And then when we die, then there's no self-continuations. And some they say, oh, we have eternal something, self. And so forth. But then from Dharma point of view, we have to look at two aspects of the self. One is that the self related to the five skandhas. the relative point of view. There is a self interdependently exist. The self is dependent on the physical form. The self is dependent on our feelings and perceptions, formations, and the consciousness. This 5 aggregates. Sometimes we use Sanskrit terms, 5 skandhas, right? It's all put it together, the sense of the self exists. There is no behind permanent self behind of these 5 skandhas or controller of these 5 skandhas, right? The form, this is a little bit we have to inwardly look at. Then it's not that complicated. We know it. Talking about we already have it, body, right? Body is pretty much the same as trees, flowers, the earth. It's dependent on some conditions. It's made by the 5 elements. That bone and flesh is element of earth, and the blood is the element of the water, and energy, breathing, this wind is the element of wind. Then we have heat, right? And also it's element of fire. And then we have space. That's element of space. And the consciousness. Yeah, those is just similar, other stuff. The consciousness is a little bit different. That's why we have to talk about it a little bit further, because Buddhism philosophy is based on the consciousness. And the consciousness, if we don't understand our mind, the consciousness, then it's very hard to, get rid of a lot unnecessary suffering. It continues. It's like a dream, nightmare dreaming, right? As long as you are dreaming, then there is a suffering, experiencing. It's not necessarily something there. The confused makes a suffering, and also it makes happy too. Like when we watch movie, we know it's not real, but it brings very strong emotions, right? Triggered. Exactly the same thing. Just when we are mind caught of something, then there is causes, conditions involved, the result will show up. So, yeah, this is 5 elements. That's just how the formed this body. As I always saying it, and we should focus on taking care of our body. Then physical, is related to physical exercise, right? And the good food, the water, sleep, this all related to it. And also we have to accept the natural reality is impermanence. Nobody can make permanent. It is impermanence. It's always changing. And that doesn't mean that we can avoid some illness that could be related to our behaviors, not treated well, or putting the substance that's not healthy, putting in our body. It could be later affect in our mind too. and so forth. Yeah, this is a kind of, the Buddhism is based on the causes and the conditions. It's not magically something appears, right? Of course, magic appears. So magic has cause conditions too. And yeah, Buddha is always talking about the causes and conditions. If we want to make it better of our life, then we have to understand the self. The self that's interdependently exists, but there's no permanent truly exist. The self inside of the body, you can't find, and the Buddhism courage to look at carefully, try to find the permanent soul something, right? If you think it's there, then you should investigate it where it is. Of course, Buddhism cannot deny the relative reality. There's self. The self is related to the body and feelings, all put it together, they're formed like a house. Non-greeding, the house, build the house, right? Bricks and woods, all put it together, that there's a house. If the one brick is not house, similar, if you take out each part of it, the house, it's not house. They all put it together is formed the house, right? And the car and everything, this phenomena. And it's similar, the body has many parts, put it together, form the body. And when you add feelings, the heat and breathing, this all put it together to form the self. That interdependently exists. And then that is related to causal conditions. Okay, so then that's a relative reality. Then we have the mind too. Mind, it's as Dharma practitioners, we should understand. Without understanding the mind, it's really very hard to achieve happiness, a good life. With understanding of one's own mind, then there is a way we can ease some unnecessary suffering. So then what is mind? Mind is, has two characteristics. One is that aware of. Sometimes we say clarity. Clarity like daylight, right? But daylight illuminated darkness, but it doesn't have awareness, knowing itself something. Mind has another part of qualities. Mind knows itself. Usually it's always it's knowing itself. But if you are not paying attention, then we don't notice. We notice it and knowing others. And the trigger here is that's why in the beginning I said, if we don't understand this reality, then we lose our mind and object, always chasing. Mind doesn't have any features or something itself, male, female, big or small, or colors, shapes. It's kind of energy. It's this awareness, And it's not just suddenly appears from Buddhist point of view. It came from previous lives. And we'll get it in this form and trapped in this physical body. And then it has ability to grasping, right? Hold it on. Embrace this body is me. And then mind also has ability to holding anything that's mine, you know. If you hold it very strongly, then it's become me. As long as we hold it on strongly something, then it's hurt. And so as Dharma practitioners, look at mind itself, there's no the self, right? Yeah, there's no permanent the mind itself. But as this awareness, not dying with this corporeal body either, from Buddhist point of view, it has past, it has present, and also it's going to be become some other beings, right? If we not end of this conceptual that mind that we call it, if end of this conceptual mind that hold it on the me, something grasping the self and fixating something. As long as we do this, then all disturbing emotions arising. Now we have the foundation of all these troubles. Foundation is not fundamentally there exists, but we create it. The anger, hatred, whatever we say, disturbing negative emotions arising. And that's influence in our mind. If something influences our mind, then of course it influences itself, the relative reality, right? That's all I'm talking the relative reality. And then mind go to the next transition and well hold it on another form. It depends on the previous our karma, what we performed. Every action is counts. What do we say? What do we think? What do we do? As Dharma practitioners, we should be judged in ourselves, right? Even in small thing, we shouldn't good to doing good things. We shouldn't avoid, oh, this is nothing something. It won't be helpful, and it's too small. Any good actions. And it says that it's like a drop of water. It's continuously dropping water. If you collect something, then fulfilled like big bucket. Similar negative. And so as Dharma practitioners, then positive actions influence in our life. Sometimes something happened in our life that's maybe not much related to the current situation. Something, good things happen. Sometimes bad things happen, right? We said that maybe it's not completely related now, but it must relate to the previous our lives. Some people born with, very happy, healthy. Some people born with means that, troubles, a lot of troubles. It continues. One trouble brings another something, or always problems. Even mentally not healthy, maybe physically healthy, whatever situations occur. And we can't say, oh, this is just one way something. It's a different people has different opinions, right? Even one family has a person has a different life. Even they share everything. Internally, life is a difference. And what I'm pointing here is that then what we can do, use the wise, like Buddha's teachings. Then we have to transform ourselves through understanding the reality of the body and the feeling, the perception, the formation, and the consciousness, particular our consciousness. And if we carefully look at the self, then sometimes maybe we realize there's no particular hold on, even relative. It's always changing, right? But we do have the permanent view. That's a trigger, or from birth into now, right? That's some sort of continuation is there, but we hold it as that me. I was 10 years old, 12 years old, 13 years. Then we had been many areas, right? Schools and workplaces. Just we hold it as me. At some point it's true, it's me, but on the other hand, it's not exactly. Physically, it's not same. Mentally, emotionally, locations, everything is totally different. Sense of the collecting this memory, that is me, become. If you reflected a life of what is real life, sometimes then collection of the memory or experience. Sometimes there's good experience, sometimes there's bad experience, right? But Dharma brings good experience. That experience as arising from the fundamental of the mind, to recognizing fundamental nature of reality, or selflessness, if we use terms using. That doesn't mean all this physical, mental, and everything disappears something. Does not occur as long as we are living in this world, and it's impossible, right? It's not necessary either. But it will gone or subdued ego clinging. Ego clinging is hold it, it's me, right? And that's me, as I mentioned, a glimpse of it from birth into now is me. Just hold it as that's something that me, mine. When we hold it mine, then there's automatically me is there. My is here, then my, my something. And that's just everybody has it. Some has it strong, and others maybe less than this. And the point here is that if you look at carefully our body, you can't find there's the self, but we hold it on something, right? And it's not immediately understand. That's why Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, great masters always said we should study about this. It's more important than other we study mathematics, physics or whatever, professional we study. If you don't study the self, that doesn't mean we shouldn't study other, the knowledge that occur, that needed in our life. But that's studying the self is more important than studying other topics. Other things, what we are learning and build the skills, something, because good taking care of the self, right? If you forget the self, you don't understand what we need, or sometimes our lives driven by habitual patterns. The patterns maybe that based on ego clinging based on ignorance, not knowing the reality. Then one confused mind brings another, and then lose in our life, the precious in our life, and it's there's endless. There's no way end of the suffering. That's why the wise, great, compassionate being like Shakyamuni Buddha, right, described life is very short, it's impermanent. We have lots of troubles because we don't see it, reality. We are living in the confusion, something, and then hurting, you know, some others, mentally, verbally, physically, whatever balance occur in claiming as, subduing something or try to make it better something. It's make it worse from Dharma point of view. Long term, our lives not only this life, and then it's creating causes, the conditions that brings more problems. So back to how we can get rid of bad habitual patterns. There's a lot of method, right? One we are pointing here is the recognizing the self. The relative reality, just repeating again, the self is dependent on these five skandhas. There's no behind the self, the five skandhas from Dharma point of view. If you have time to look at or investigate it, is it body is yourself? And some people, yeah. Anyways, just look at it this way. You can't find the self in the body. The feeling is the same thing. Feelings always rising, ceasing, not just one something. And the opinions, and so forth. It is all disturbing emotions, good and bad. And it's not the self. And the mind It's not the self. If you see this way, then it feel like the self exists. But if you carefully look at it, then it's like space. Mind is understanding this reality. At the same time, there's no such thing we hold it on. And also, mind not distracted. Within that kind of realization, you can find peace. You are not creating bad habitual patterns. Actually, it dissolves bad habitual patterns. It destroying ego clinging because there's no such the self, right? Ego there. And it's that's very important. If you have that kind of realization, then you are transforming your life is a better way. You experience it. It brings good experience. That experience is actually based on the nature of reality. It helps. And when you have that kind of experience, you feel it. You internally you realized that that's it's kind of real meaningful life. All the great Dharma practitioners emphasizing that we are missing. Now you are not always chasing an object, right? You are grounded. Your mind is completely rested in the selflessness, or you can say emptiness, right? At the same time, you are not distracted. It's mind. You're fully, completely pleasant. That's what we need. That's what we call the Dharma of realization. And I think that's pretty much, right? Oh, a little bit too much thought, maybe. If you have any questions, we can talk further. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but, so in the Critical Jewel, you talk about the 8 worldly dharmas. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, right.
So beyond hope and fear.
That's right.
Those different concepts. Do you mind commenting on that?
Okay. And one of when we have problems is that we have hope. When we have hope and fear something, right? If we have hope something, that there's fear. If we want to get at something, then there's feeling. If we don't get it, if there's hope, then there's fear arising. And 8 worldly dharmas in the Dharma teachings described. It's a kind of opposite of the authentic Dharma practitioners we should avoid, but it's a very difficult it's the most difficult part of to do this, right? And it's very hard. That someone says good things and we're happy, someone says bad things, or bad attitude, or whatever, and we want to be happy, right? If we get something, then we are happy. If we don't get something, we want to be happy, so forth. But real great Dharma practitioners, this is here. Someone doesn't have ego, conquered ego, right? Have IQ realized selflessness. Then it's possible. You understand that there's no permanent truly exist. The self, if the praising, it can't bring ego again, make bigger something. Or someone says something, it won't make, depressed. There's no ego either. So it's possible. But as long as we have ego, and then it's very hard to conquer. Um, 8 worldly dharmas. But as beginners, Dharma practitioners, and yeah, we not too much, I think, focus on or hoping something big, particular what to say, praise. If someone good things occur, that's okay. Not become arrogant. It won't stay forever. It will change. Or sometimes we have we say bad things occur in anything. Could be related to self, could be related to families, friends, or any situations, financial situations, health situations, or whatever. And also, it won't stay forever. It will change. Life is unpredictable. Almost nobody knows. Sometimes we think, oh, this is great, something. It turns to not great. Maybe it's a trapped big obstacle, something. Sometimes something happened, we think, oh, this is a horrible something, right? Nobody knows. It could be, it's good things. Start good things occur because something happened. And yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very complicated to predict. But as Dharma practitioners, we should always try our best. Mentally or whatever, if people, it makes trouble for others, we should avoid and to try to, if you have the chance to help others, then that would be good. Try. Yeah, I always said to try the best. We can't fulfill the completely everybody, even oneself. Even great like Shakyamuni Buddha, he can't fulfill everybody, right? From Buddhist point of view, the finest person in human history is the great one. No one can do it, everything. The point here is that try your best means that, and what do you think this first moment is the best for to do something for whatever, self and others, whatever, then it's keeps clean mind. And later, you don't have any regret. This is psychologically very important. A lot of people have regret. Oh, I should do this. I should. Then, because they're lots of doubt and did prohibit something due to confused, due to lack of wisdom, right? Then that brings regret, or sometimes it brings to problems. Then hated, angry, or all sorts of troubles arising. And then this destroying one's own mental health. It's become a disease. As a good person, we need a healthy person. Healthy person doesn't mean that physically healthy, right? And the mental health is more important than physical health. Mental health is it's one of it to try the best. Sometimes maybe it works, sometimes maybe it won't work. But it doesn't matter. Your motivation, one's own motivation to try the best, right? If it works, it's great. Feel better. Even it won't work sometimes, but you don't have any regret. I tried my best, right? This is very important. And then from Dharma point of view, as already mentioned, cause and effect. If you're doing certain things that the Buddha described in the Dharma teachings, or you should avoid 10 non-virtuous activities, killing, stealing, lying, cheating, or malice, pride, anger, or this disturbing emotion. It's not healthy. It won't bring trouble for you. It brings trouble for others, and so forth. It makes life unhappy. Those things we have to learn and try to avoid as much as possible. We can't avoid it. It's all just one time. That disturbing emotions become stronger if we strengthening continuously. Then our mentally or could be physically affect too. Well, affect in our life. Maybe we don't feel it immediately, but if it goes continuously, then anger is rising, frustration is rising, and whatever. This brings problems. And then Buddha is recommended. And Dharma teachings, I'm always the Buddha. It's not directly quotes. Some sort of is there. You look at her meaning is there. And says that to practice a discipline, practice as a prajna, practice as a meditation, and cultivated or developed the wisdom that sees where things appears, that wisdom of prajna that sees where things are. And so those things we have to focus on. The causes then the result is automatically appears. We are hoping something, but engage wrong actions. The way of thinking, right? This is the first step. Beginning just thinking is that we started something. And then a speech is another. And the real action physically involved is another thing. Yeah, those things I think it's we should avoid. Then, as Dharma practitioners, really Dharma is helpful. If you apply, then it's helpful. And if you don't, then yeah, it won't. If Dharma is working in your life and you're physically relaxed, that's occur, and mentally it's much happier. It's less confusion and much happier. And not klesha attack one's own mind. Yeah, I think something like that. Okay, we can look at, and here, do you have any questions for online? Maybe. Choose. Oh, give you, what called it, award, something?
Yeah.
Or punishing something. From Dharma point of view, Buddhism point of view, there's no one do this. It's nature, it's the phenomena, it itself has that abilities. And if you plant a seed, right? There's some seed grows very fast. Some seed, it takes a little while. And it depends. It's needed causes conditions. Needed. Then it will grow. And the Buddha says that I don't have power to remove your suffering by my hand. I can transmit it, my realization to you. I have the power to show how to eliminate it, suffering. It's a liberation. The liberation is it's up to you. And so that says that even Buddha, this Buddha's example, from Buddhist point of view, and a great compassionate being really want to remove all the problems. It's not just only humans. We know that humans, right? Almost everyone in this planet have suffered. That Buddha see it. And we know some level of the problems. If you look at, and in this world, you see it's a perfect, life something. And wealth, health, beauty, and whatever. You think it's whatever they need, there's there. But if you ask them, not complete. They have maybe more suffering, mental problems. If you ask beggars, they have their own problems. And the business people and the professional, whatever is there. Everyone has different levels of the problems. And that's the way I just look, saying that there's human beings, right? And others, limitless beings. The last time I mentioned a little bit, Because also we have to, when we study Dharma, we have to a little bit get out of our normal perceptions. And it says this, like a shared in the past years, like a car wheel, right? Size of this place, usually we don't see any beings here. And our heart, if you look at that same place, they see a lot of beings. But our heart, they don't see lots of beings. Our bodhisattvas sees limitless beings there. And our bodhisattvas, they don't see many things. Says Buddha, countless beings there. There's no, the point here, there's no completely empty space. As long as there's space, there's thinking beings. If there's thinking beings, they have problems. The great Bodhisattva and the Buddha have great compassion, unconditioned, the compassion. They're not looking something to gaining fame, praise, in world dharmas. Really want to help, right? Wishing the free from the suffering. But even though that person has this kind of heart and mind, doesn't have power to do this. Nobody has. No one. Whatever we hold it, the philosophy or the belief, if you look at the reality, no one has it. So even though nobody has that kind of power, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't keep rising that kind of mind. Like Buddha has it, right? Great compassion. And that kind of mind is, from Buddhist point of view, it's precious mind. And someone who has that mind, and that person have healthy mind. That person wishing all thinking beings, not only me, when we hold it on to me first, then there's already started problem. Egocentric, view. As long as we hold that kind of view, it's very hard to avoid and a lot of problems based on the egocentric view. And here, there's someone who has a great compassion, then that person avoid hurting or intentionally, hurting others, right? They're wishing the all sentient beings free from suffering, the root of suffering. And even though one who has that kind of mental state, but reality is a limit, like Buddha, for example. The best way, what he gave for us, is his teaching, the tools. He can't eliminate all the problems, fixed troubles. then we as follower of the Buddhas then try take his advice, bring into our life as much as possible. What he's saying that, oh, we have to understanding the sub-listeners. Like read it, the Diamond Sutta is a great example. All the Mahayanas, practitioners agree it's authentic and chanted thousands of years. They're gaining some certain realizations described. Or if you read it, chant it, or actualize those meanings, you're accumulating a lot of the merit. That merit, it's if you fulfilled precious jewels, the whole world, or offering something, material thing, it won't compare the merit of the reading, even chanting, right? The Dharma Sutta. And the chanting is a purpose for realized sub-listeners. Just we already talked about it. It's very crucial, important. We have to follow those advice. Then that is the Buddha gift us. And yeah, something like that. Okay.
Well, what I was
It's first their cause, then the result happen, right? There's a cause and result and not appears at the same time, right?
Well, kind of.